And he joins me now. Bryan, good morning.
Morning, Nick. Where are you?
I'm really well, thanks. I think that's a fair summing up, isn't it? You have had a pretty topsy-turvy few seasons, but do you feel now that you're somewhere back near where you want to be?
Yeah, well, I think being back, like riding winners in Cheltenham, is where every jockey wants to be, and when you get to that point, it's just great to be back there.
And when everything happens so early on and so quickly in your career, does it put sort of pressures on you that you hadn't really anticipated when you're really young and carefree and growing up?
No, well, I suppose looking back now, I probably took things for granted a little bit, and just felt that was always going to be the way, that I was going to be there on the big stage, competing on the big stage, riding winners on the big stage. But that obviously wasn't the case, and I had to go and change a few things around when I did have that quiet spell. But as I said, I'm just delighted to be back there.
So what turned it round for you, do you think?
I suppose I can't thank Paul and James Nolan and another few of the smaller yards who have supported me over the last couple of years. And like without them, being honest, I don't know where I would be without them. You know, they gave me, as I said, they gave me something when I didn't have anything, and I'm just very, very grateful to them.
Paul Nolan's a popular guy as well, and I think people root for him. You know, he's had Grade 1 success, but then had a few quieter years and has come back a bit. Do you see yourselves very much on the same wavelength?
Well, I suppose I had the Grade 1 winner last year, and I think I since 2012 I got to ride a Grade 1 winner every year bar 2018 and 19. So to me that was a lot. You know, I love riding on the big stage, and I love competing at the top level, and just to be back there is great.
Let's talk about the race itself and talk about Mrs Milner. She was a bit of a revelation to us. Was she any kind of a revelation to you?
Yeah, it was my first time riding her. She was coming off the back of a bad fall in Leopardstown, and gas like James and Paul, they'd never really give me instructions, but that morning James rang me. He said, just don't be too far away at the top of the hill. This mare will come home for you. And I knew then they definitely did fancy her, and I got shuffled back actually to the top of the hill. I got into a bit of traffic problems, but she came home well, and look, I didn't think she'd win the way she did, but she was very impressive.
She was really impressive, and coming off the back of a pretty nasty fall at the Dublin Racing Festival, was she always comfortable through the race?
Yeah, she went down to the second and actually put down, and I knew she'd learned from the fall, because she can be quite brave, and I knew then that the fall didn't affect her confidence, and there wasn't much daylight in the race, but her jumping was unbelievable, and she hit the line fair well.
Richard and I were just chatting before you came on, Bryan, about, you know, we didn't get to see that much of you guys during the course of the week, because obviously you had the Irish village over the way, and then you'd come in and out of the paddock and do your thing. Obviously you can't be in there partying, because that's not what you're allowed to do at the moment. But what just give me a flavour of what the atmosphere was like growing there during the course of the 4 days.
It was strange, obviously with no crowds and everything. It was like, you know, I suppose when you do ride winners in Cheltenham and you pull up at the top of the hill, the first thing you look over is the crowd, and when there is no crowd, it is strange. But they put on a fantastic show. Jennifer Pugh and Jennifer Walsh and Barbara White, like to get us there, and you know, even in the Irish little village, that everybody was out in the stand cheering us on, and the little shout they gave us when we did pull up, it meant a lot. But we were just so grateful to get over there and be competing there.
Do you have a greater depth of appreciation for it, for all the reasons we've spoken about?
Yeah, well, I said it after we put up, like I was just so happy to be there and be competing, and I suppose, you know, to have some great rides as well was unreal, and it was just great to be there.
And gives you another lift for the remainder of this season and into next year as well. How do you anticipate kind of dividing your time in terms of who you're riding for? I know you're riding quite a bit for Willie Mullins now as well, the Nolans and others. How do you anticipate the next sort of year, 18 months unfolding?
Well, I suppose I got my ninth winner in Cheltenham, so I'm going to want a 10th one. So I'm going to have to keep working hard. Keep the foot on the throttle, as someone says, and just keep improving. I'm still only 28, and I feel I've plenty years left in me. But I have to. When you get these opportunities, you have to deliver. So I'll be taking every opportunity I get, and trying to do my best for everyone that's supporting me.
Gary O'Brien, who obviously knows you well, he said on Racing TV yesterday that you'd been quite hard on yourself the last 2 or 3 years, and had given yourself quite a hard time, and said that you needed to sort of up your game, and you needed to up your work ethic. Can you stop being as hard on yourself now, or are you going to have to keep being as hard on yourself?
No, I definitely feel I have to be that bit hard on myself. There was nobody going to make things work for me, only me. I had to. There was nobody going to hold my hand and do it for me. I had to be the person to change a few things, change probably my work ethic, and prove to people that I wanted it. And you're forgotten about very quickly in this game. So if I sit back again and just think things are going to happen for me, they won't. So I have to keep proving people that I want it. And I feel as long as I'm doing that and delivering on the days when I get the opportunities, that hopefully I'll continue to get the opportunities. And
with that in mind, and with that outlook, are you enjoying it as much as you ever did, or maybe you're enjoying it more now?
Yeah, very much so. I'd be the first to say I am enjoying it. There was a point when I wasn't, for about a year to 18 months, where I wasn't sure if I did want to keep doing it, but I can honestly say I'm really enjoying the game. I'm just delighted to be going racing and getting the opportunities that I'm getting. Well,
we certainly enjoyed your success last week. I think everybody did, as we did the other 8 Cheltenham Festival winners. Hopefully there will be numbers 10, 11, 12, who knows, this time next year. Bryan, thanks so much for chatting to me. Best of luck for the rest of the year.
Thank you. Cheers.